Hi, I'm Alan Combs. This is Versus. Normally we do Versus in our nice, safe studio in New York City, but we're at the Democratic National Convention. But who do I find at Democratic National Convention? A Republican. Ashley Bell is a delegate to Trump.
Yeah.
They're treating you okay here? You need some protection at the DNC?
Or, they sweated me out outside, Alan. I was outside about 30 minutes. But
all right. How can an African-American person support Donald Trump? You know his history of racial statements. Go down the list. His father's housing discrimination, a company he inherited, but it started with his father being called on discrimination more than once.
You know, if you just want to just put African Americans in a box, then you have to say, all right, well, pick the candidate that you think likes black people the most, which I don't do that analysis before I pick a president, but that's what you're saying. Right. So what I'm saying is that if you want to look at, let's just say we take the liberal analysis and you say you only vote for the person who identifies with your race. If you do that,
I'm not talking about identifying with your race, I'm talking about not being a bigot.
Well, it's still the same thing. If you want to do that, let's look at Hillary Clinton. Let's look at the 1990s. Let's look at the fact that she took a war on drugs, which everybody wanted to see drugs end, but did a overreach of government and ended up with the mass incarcerations of over 1 million African-American males, who today even liberals call this the new Jim Crow.
That wasn't directed at African-American males. By the way, she's following the legacy of a president who changed the sentencing for crack versus powder cocaine.
How can you say it's not? Okay, well, Alan, how can you say it wasn't directed at African-Americans if you just said there's a discrimination
that's going to concern you. How about a guy who goes after Obama, is birther-in-chief, said he wasn't born here, born in Kenya, says I don't want to have a black counting my money, I want a guy with a yarmulke. This is a guy who said blacks are lazy.
We can go tit for tat on racial stuff all day, because I can tell you it was only today that the DNC's emails came out where they were making fun of a black woman's name because it was ghetto. Look, that was today. This was a black woman who is a liberal.
I'm with you on that.
And this is
totally
a DNC
wrong.
email.
But that's not
if you're trying to go who says the most racial stuff.
But that's not the candidate. I'm talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about the candidate.
That is the party.
You want to talk about the Republican Party's history of
racism?
Let's talk about
Lincoln. Let's talk about abolition.
This is not the party of Lincoln. Not the party of Lincoln.
Who passed the Civil Rights Act? It was the Republican Congress? Okay, let's go.
Voting Rights Act.
Republican Congress? Let's go there.
This is not that party.
Who renewed the Voting Rights Act? George W. Bush. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling.
How about Lyndon Johnson? How about Democrats who stood up for African Americans? How about the Civil Rights Act of 1964? The Voting Rights Act of 1965? How about a party that right now, actually a party right now is trying to install voter ID in states, you know, which is the purpose of stopping African Americans from voting.
See, that's what voter ID is. Alan, you say that that's meant to stop African Americans from voting.
What do you think voter ID is for?
But in 2008 and 2012, African Americans voted at a higher percentage than white Americans. So where's your proof?
Because they've been promoting voter ID since then.
We're voting higher than everybody else.
What is the purpose of voter ID? You know
the purpose of voter ID is to
stop certain people from getting to the polls.
I can't, look, you want to try to get in here and see Hillary Clinton today without ID? Try it. See what happens. It's not going to happen.
I'm not talking about Ashley, I'm not talking about a convention. I'm talking about voting in a voting booth.
If you can't see the president without an ID, how can you not vote for the president without an ID?
Could I see Trump without an ID?
No, you can't. That's the point.
No, but I'm not talking about seeing somebody. I'm talking about voting in a voting booth. You know what voter ID is meant to do.
It's meant to make sure that people are who they say they are, and they're and they make sure that they're the right people on the voting.
This is the guy who said, your candidate said blacks are lazy. Your candidate was against civil rights. I'm not making it up. He actually admitted that he said it.
Hillary Clinton said blacks were super predators.
Bob O'Donnell.
We can go all day on tit for tat on racial stuff. You call black people super predators. Hillary Clinton said that in the 90s. So
no, that's totally taken. No. Hillary Clinton, that super predator thing.
Pure white on racial issues.
She was talking about gangs.
Bill Clinton.
She wasn't talking about
South Carolina. Said what? Obama won just because he was black.
We're talking past each other here. Hillary Clinton on super predators was talking about gangs and gang violence. She was not talking about blacks.
And you honestly want to believe that the Black Lives Matter folks who are protesting you today thought she was talking about non-African Americans?
I can't speak for them.
Well,
I read what she said. I listened to what she said.
She was not talking about blacks. Has a tyrant history of racial issues. Donald Trump has one thing he does have. Look, here's what separates Donald Trump from Hillary Clinton at the end of the day. He has hired people of all races, of both genders. She hasn't hired anybody. She's used government payroll to peddle influence for the last 3 decades. Where's your candidate's track record?
Donald Trump used influence to get a deal in Atlantic City, to get the West Side Yards in New York. He got government largesse. He took government money. He got all kinds of tax abatements to build his buildings. You want to talk about government largesse and taking money from the government?
I'll take someone who takes a risk on America than someone who takes a risk on themselves. Donald Trump took a risk on the economy, took a risk with his own wealth, and went out there and created jobs. So all I'm saying is that Hillary Clinton is a perfect example of just crony status quo politics.
How is Donald Trump going to create jobs? Can you tell me how he's going to do that? Because he's been specific about anything?
Let me tell you. Give me a man who understands the gift of entrepreneurship. A man who every Friday has to make a payroll, but has to make sure families
You mean the
get
guy
their
who
check?
went bankrupt 4 times
No.
has to make a payroll?
Donald Trump has thousands of employees. How many employees does Hillary Clinton have?
Bankrupt 4 times?
How many employees does
Bankrupt 4 times.
She gets a government check for 3 decades, and you want to believe
he would not have had.
Where did she get the money to make those
Actually, he got
paychecks?
government
Off the backs of the middle class and
built
taxpayers.
his buildings with government help. Let me ask you this: you started as a.
See, here's the problem, Alan. You liberals hate people
I am
like
you.
Donald
I am you liberals.
You liberals, you hate people like Donald Trump.
I don't hate
You want to
anybody.
not only defeat
I'm a
Donald
lover,
Trump,
not a
you want
hater.
to defeat the people who are like Donald Trump, the people who create jobs, who are
He
the
doesn't
business owners of
create
this
jobs.
country.
Doesn't
If you
create
got
jobs.
rid of them, who's everybody?
Doesn't
Where
create
does the jobs go?
Doesn't create
If you
jobs.
ran off every Donald
Let me
Trump in
ask you
America,
this.
Alan, what would be left of this country?
Let me do the
What would
question.
be left?
Let
Get
me
rid of every small business
hold on.
owner, and
Let
what would
me
you have
do the
left?
question. You started as a Rand Paul person.
I did.
You went to Marco Rubio.
I did.
How do you get to Donald Trump from Rand Paul? They're on opposite ends of the Republican spectrum.
Let me tell you, I did support Rand Paul, proud to. Marco Rubio, proud to. And now I'm left with a choice, which America's left with the same choice. Do you support someone who can change the system? And I supported Rand Paul because I thought he was going to kick the table over when he went to D.C.
Then you go to Marco Rubio,
and I go to
who
Marco
is
Rubio.
in the system. He's a,
Well, he was what was left
an
of the
establishment
system.
Republican.
Well, once Bush left, I guess, relatively
But Marco
speaking.
Rubio is an establishment
Well,
Republican.
Let's look at this. He's what was left. You can't be an establishment anything in one term. Be honest. There's a
Come on,
definition
but
of that word.
you're speaking
But-
to both sides of your mouth here.
No, I'm not.
You're talking anti-establishment. You're supporting Rubio.
Rubio was in the Senate one term, and before Bush, he was not the establishment. He was only establishment after Bush left the race. Let's be honest. Hillary Clinton has been the establishment for 3 decades. 3 decades versus 4 or 5 years in Congress. There's no comparison.
This guy has insulted
I was 12 years old
African
when she
Americans,
came into office.
Hispanics, veterans, the disabled, the military. You get on the list of the people he has insulted. That's how he's gotten to where he is now. Are you proud of a guy who gets up and misrepresents FBI statistics on police brutality? That's what he did at the Republican convention.
If I have to pick between criticizing a Twitter feed or her legacy in Washington, I'm going to criticize the fact that her emails from Benghazi, I'm going to criticize the fact of going back to the war on drugs debacle. I'm going to go back to her idea for putting universal health care in this country and try to bankrupt America. You can only criticize a Twitter feed for so long, Alan. It's not going to win you the race.
Yeah, and you reduce Donald Trump to a Twitter feed. That's what you've done.
You just reduce all you're right. All the stuff you say, those are tweets. But we're talking about policy that's affected Americans in a negative way. Donald Trump, hands down, if you compare both candidates, one's for change, one's for not. Tell me the last time America didn't vote for change,
Is this
Alan.
party over country? Because you would support anybody in your party, right, who got the nomination. I would not. If Donald Trump ran as a Democrat, I would not support him.
Look,
you'll support any Republican,
no, look,
right?
I believe there's a fair process on the Republican party to get a nominee. On the Democratic side, you don't have that. You don't have a choice of who you can pick. You know why? Because y'all rigged the election.
I agree with you.
If you don't rig the election, then you could have it.
It wasn't rigged. First of all, Hillary Clinton won without superdelegates. I don't like the system. I don't like the fact that...
She wouldn't have won if y'all hadn't had debates at midnight on Christmas Eve.
That's not true. She was on in prime time on different networks. Look, the system stinks on both sides. Yeah. Caucuses versus primaries.
No, our process was fair. There were plenty of people who said never Trump, who didn't want Trump to have the nomination, and you know what? He still got it despite all that. You have people who, you're asking Bernie Sanders people to support a woman who you purposely rigged the election to make sure
Donald Trump lost a primary or caucus, he would talk about a rigged system. Every single time. The system was only rigged, only not rigged when he won. No. Every other time it was rigged.
You know what happened? The people rose up, and Donald Trump had enough votes where it didn't matter. On your end, it's a different product. My party chairman wasn't trying to rig the election.
Actually, the math is there.
Where's your party chairman now?
Hold on. She did not need superdelegates.
Where's your party chairman today, Al? She's not in the commission anymore. She can't speak.
And that's why.
You know why?
And that's why
because
I would
she rigged
not.
The election.
And I would not
support. If the election wasn't rigged, she'd still be speaking today, right?
How is it rigged? How is it rigged? Exactly how is it rigged?
You will ask the 10,000 Bernie fans that are out there who are shutting down traffic right now how it was rigged.
Yeah, but
walk out into that crowd outside the city.
Did you not see the protesters outside the Republican convention?
No, I didn't actually.
You didn't. So you walked into a back entrance?
Let me tell you, you Democrats are protesting their own convention.
Yeah, I believe
we did not have any Republicans
protesting Republicans. We got to run. Thank you very much. Ashley Bell, a delegate from Georgia for Donald Trump. Thanks for watching Versus. Follow us at Fox News Live on Twitter. You on Twitter?
Ashley Bell R.
Ashley Bell R. on Twitter. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.